Hello, 7th graders. Let's review the rhythms we should know so far. So remember, we have our quarter note, and that equals one beat, right? And then we also have, we can split up that quarter note into 2/8 notes, right? 2/8 notes fit inside our quarter note. So that's our 2/8 notes. Right? And that still equals 1, right? Because this equals a half, that equals a half, and you put two halves together and it equals 1. And we count it like this, 1 and. If our quarter note was first in the measure, we would just say 1. And guess what? We can split each eighth note into 2 notes. So if we split 1/8 note in half, right? If you split a half, you get a quarter. So a quarter of that are 16th notes, right? So we can put 2 16th notes inside of that 1/8 note. We can put 2 16th notes in this other eighth note. So guess what? 4 16th notes, this is 4 16th notes, still equals 1 E and a. We haven't said the number 2 yet, so we know that 1 E and a fits inside of 1 N, which also fits inside of 1. So all these beats are going to equal 1. So now, what if we mixed up some of these rhythms together? So here's my 4 16th notes, 1 E and a. What if I put a tie here? That means I'm holding through the E. So I'm putting together 2 16th notes, and like I said, if you put 2 together, it equals an eighth note. So this rhythm is the same thing as an eighth note, and then here's my 2 16th notes. All right, so here's the 1, hold through the E and a. So if I'm holding through the E, I'm not actually going to tongue on the E or put my mallet down on the E. I'm just going to hold through it. So 1, hold through the E. What's left? And a. So that's 1/8 note, 1/8 note, and 2 16th notes, right? 1/8 note, 2 16th notes. So now let's change where I put the tie. What if I put the tie in the last 2? Here. So I'd have 1 E and a. So I'm holding through the now. So I'm not going to tongue or play with my mallet on the I'm going to hold through the So we start with 2 16th notes. So here's my 2 16th notes. And then we have the and. That's the next thing that happens. But remember, 2 16th notes put together equals an eighth note. So we're going to draw eighth note with 1 beam there. So we have 1 E, what's the next thing? And it holds through the So you're just thinking it in your head. So that one is 2 16th notes, right? And 1 eighth note put together. All right, let's do one more. What if I made my tie longer? So here's my 1 E and a. This time I'm going to put my tie through the 1, the E, and also the and. So I'm holding through 3 16th notes. 3 16th notes. So if I'm holding through 3 16th notes, that's going to turn it into that dotted eighth rhythm that we just learned about. What's left? The So there's my and I know my first thing is my number, and I'm holding through the E and the and, so I'm just thinking it in my head here, holding through. So that is a dotted, oh, we forgot my little 16th note there. That's a dotted eighth, right? Dotted eighth, 1 beam, and then look, 2 beams, and then 1 16th note. So there are the 16th rhythms, our eighth rhythm, and our quarter rhythms that we should know so far. Thanks, guys.